This is live from Admito.in, the most advanced college selection tool for MBA aspirants.
Hello guys, welcome to the webinar on MBA, Bright Career or Just Another Option. So I am Devendra Sharma, I work with Admito. I'm glad to invite you. It's a thought-provoking session over here, and I'll definitely know that you would learn a lot of things out of it. Proceeding further, I would like to tell you a bit about what we're gonna cover in this webinar and what kind of things we will have. I know that some of you guys must have started preparing for MBA, and maybe half of you have thinking of going for MBA right now. So I'll give you an interesting fact about MBA right now here. So every year, more than 2 lakh students appear for CAT examinations and B-school examinations, and around 90% of those students don't even know what exactly an MBA is. So it's a big question. I mean, people don't know why they are doing MBA and why they are appearing for all these examinations. So it is very important for you guys to know that what exactly an MBA is. Cover a couple of questions like why one should do MBA and what kind of life people live during B schools, and when they pass out from a B school, what kind of life they live. And most important question we will take in the last, like how to choose a perfect B school for a particular student. So it's a very important question, and then later on we'll go further for Q&A session where you can ask your particular queries with our guest for tonight. So let's move ahead and we'll invite Mr. Rahul. He's already here with us. Hello, Rahul. Welcome on board, and thank you so much for joining us for this webinar. And I would give a brief intro about you to our viewers. There are a lot of viewers, they are interested to ask questions about this. So I'll just give them a brief intro about you. So Rahul has done his masters from, and he is currently working upon his own venture, and he has worked with Kane India before, and he has worked with Oyo Rooms previously, and he has served at various managerial positions before. So let's start a conversation with Rahul. So Rahul, as we know that you are working upon your startup right now, so why don't you share something about your startup, what exactly you are doing, and what kind of features you have in the startup?
So we are working on a very interesting opportunity. Our startup is called Desarte, and it is in beauty and wellness space. So what we are trying to achieve is we are trying to digitize this beauty and wellness market, because right now how it works is people, they generally call the beauticians or, when they go.
Right.
So we are trying to introduce a technological end where you can, open the app and book the salons and see which salons are offering the right discounts and which are, in your close vicinity. What are the reviews of that salon? Who is a good stylist there? So you can think of it as a Zomato for beauty and wellness. So this is what we are trying to create. And this is a very interesting industry because it is technologically underserved. Technological innovation has happened in this industry till now.
So yeah, it's a great initiative, and I hope that we will do good in that. So let's just move on to the questions which our viewers have already asked us. Like they are preparing for MBA examinations right now, and being an IIM graduate, people look up to you and they wanted to become like you. So they wanted to understand that what is your perspective about an MBA, like what exactly an MBA is. So would you please tell us something about how you perceive MBA and why someone should do MBA right now?
Right. So why should someone do an MBA? MBA is a degree which gives you an idea, a framework to analyze things. So say that current in a technical, coding industry, or you're working in a very limited, domain. Let's say you are a commerce graduate and doing accounting, or you are a computer science graduate and you're doing, coding. So MBA helps you get to the big picture. MBA helps you get into the managerial side of things, wherein you can, understand, okay, they are building, but why the company is building this product? What is the impact of this product will be on our company's market share? How our company's growth will be affected by this product? So these decisions are taken care of by the MBA graduates. So there are some companies where to get to a certain senior positions, it is mandatory to have an MBA. So some people, they feel stuck after a certain, certain years in their company, that for now to become a senior manager, to become a senior, senior person in their company.
Another level.
Yeah, to grow within their company, they need to get an MBA after it. So which is why MBA is very important.
And people wanted to know that why someone should do MBA. So
Correct. So
what is your take on this?
why someone should do an MBA? So everybody has their different, options. That when I was a college student, why I chose to do an MBA, because I wanted to do entrepreneurship. That being in a business school where I will be, with some of the best brains of the country and one of the most learned faculty, learn a lot from case studies. I will get to learn, make industry contacts. I will get to meet angel investors, venture capitalists, things like that. And most of the good B schools nowadays, they have their entrepreneurship cell, new startups from their own students.
Yeah.
So which is also a good starting point for someone who's looking to build their career in entrepreneurship. So MBA offers everything for everyone. Not every MBA graduate wants to become an entrepreneur.
Right.
But even if you don't want to become an entrepreneur, learning in such a holistic environment always gives you an edge.
Yeah, exactly. And moving ahead with the questions, I mean, once you're done with your MBA, so like what kind of environment you live in right now? I mean, what was your transformation into an MBA graduate? If you talk about your graduation days, and right now you are an MBA grad.
Right.
So what difference does it make? A degree, what difference does this degree make into your life, and what kind of life you live right now? So would you please throw some light on this? That what kind of life people have?
As a degree, it's a very a degree of generalization. Like for example, in an MS or MTech, you become a specialist. MBA is a generalist degree first of all, and MBA is a degree which comes with a lot of a glamour quotient associated with it, right? So I mean, once I graduated, I joined a top oil and gas company, and I started living in most fancy hotels. Started flying around, and I started having company partying for it.
Yeah.
So my lifestyle suddenly changed, because I was a engineering fresher who directly went for an MBA, and after that I started it was really, I was living my dream. They were paying me well, and there was so much perks associated with this, with being a management trainee, that it was really a fun time. And so this is just the one part of it. The second part, which is the intellectual, the academic side of the part, is that when you graduate from a good B school and you have a good B school degree in your resume, even though you are a very young, professional, you've just started your corporate career, people who have been in the company for 10 years, 15 years, even more than that, when you speak, they start listening to you.
Right.
Because you are an MBA graduate, you've done your MBA from a top B school in country where it is very difficult to get into. So they understand that even though you might not have the experience, but still, there are a lot of values that you can add. So this was one of the things which was noticeably different. That engineering graduates, they do not get the chance to affect their company's progress as much as a management trainee does.
Yeah, so definitely it's a very good understanding for MBA. Like many viewers wanted to know this, and I hope that they have got their answers. And many people are confused about like characteristics about going for MBA. Like I have seen many people who are asking like who are those people who are doing MBA, and are there any characteristics required for going for MBA? So is there any thing like that somebody should have these traits or these characteristics and they can go for MBA, or they should think of doing MBA? Is something like that?
So I think this perception has been made because in MBA earlier what used to happen was, because it was a very quantitative based exam, so a lot of engineers were going through it. So people started thinking that MBA from IIMs or other top tier schools is only for engineers, or those with the quantitative background.
Yeah, exactly.
The things are changing. Even the IIMs are started to focus on increasing the diversification of their batches. For example, I will tell you, IIM Kozhikode had 50% girls in their batch. So they are hiring more females, they are hiring people from different specialization, they are hiring commerce graduates, they are hiring arts graduates, or they are hiring humanities graduates, so that people from different disciplines can come together and they start learning from each other. So is not someone who has a definite characteristic that it is not necessary that you need to have a good communication skills, or it is not necessary that you need to have a good quantitative skills. Obviously you have to crack CAT or whatever the basic aptitude test that is there. Yeah, that's the minimum requirement. But other than that, MBA institutes, they want to they have limited seats and they want to take students who are different and different from each other. They don't want to take two engineers from the same branch, from the same experience, because it will not add to their batch. Yeah, right. So they want to create a vibrant community. So I would say it is not that MBA is for one particular set of students or for other particular set of students. To decide is, if you are somebody who want to become a management graduate, if you are somebody who are at a such position in their career, or maybe you are just a fresher and you think that where you want to go, an MBA would be required. Example, I'll say that there are some people who are engineers, and after doing their 4 years in electrical engineering, they feel that okay, maybe I don't want to become an electrical engineer, but I want to join an electrical company engineer as a manager. Correct. So maybe you don't want to design the circuit, so maybe you don't want to write codes, but you still want to be an IT company, right, where you can manage the codes, where you can talk to the clients, where you can go out and talk to the managers and be at the front seat of your company driving those strategy.
Yeah, exactly. So when people think of doing an MBA, the very first thing comes the money. Right. People are spending a lot of money on going for higher graduations, be it in India or be it abroad. So when people think that this much money we are paying for this particular degree, so they start comparing it with the benefits. What kind of benefits they would have? I don't, there is a very fancy term called ROI. People have started talking about return on investment. So people started talking about this thing and they compare things like how much money I'm spending right now and how much money I would earn later on. So and then meanwhile they start thinking that is it the right time for me to do MBA or not? So these two questions go hand in hand and create a lot of confusion in students. So we would like to have your opinion about this, because people are literally about these terms like MBA and ROI and all these items. So what is your take on this?
See, I think that, as I earlier said, that right time to do an MBA is when you start to feel that okay, maybe this is the time when I should get an MBA, and this comes from inside that. When I was a final year feeling okay, maybe if I want to be an entrepreneur, I should know a little bit of finance, a little bit of marketing, accounting, and other subjects. So that's when I started feeling maybe MBA is the right thing for me. For some people who are already in their jobs, they might start feeling okay. This guy who graduated after I am now is my senior. Yeah, and right now I want to be at this place. I've been working in this company for 3 years, and I am still reporting to this guy who has just started his corporate journey and has just 2 months of experience. So maybe this is the time when you start to feel okay, I should do an MBA. So it's really a personal choice that if you feel that whatever dreams you have cannot be achieved in your current situation and at your current position, so this is when you should start considering your options. Second thing which you asked is about the ROI. Yeah. So for people, ROI is what is the fees of their college and what is the average placement I'm getting. Yeah, but right. MBA is much more than that. I mean, if somebody wants to do an MBA just for the money, I don't think that MBA would be a right option for him, because there are a lot of things in an MBA which cannot be quantified. For example, the networks you make. Right. So I'll give you an example. That when I was at Kane, I was working with Kane India, which is an oil and gas company. So my project got over, and I wanted to join a different company. And after Kane, I joined Oyo Rooms, which is an e-commerce company. So these two are extremely opposite companies. One is a startup, and another is a completely established company in a manufacturing business. So how did I make this switch? I could make this switch because I made networks during my MBA. I called up my colleague who was very next my interview. So this is the thing which I cannot quantify while calculating the ROI. This is one of the example of the things that you get from an MBA. Meet a lot of people in MBA. There are a lot of events happening. A lot of CEOs, CXOs of big companies come and they directly interact with you. So you can always make your impact. You can always talk to professors who have been working with different companies. So MBA is not just about the money or the placement that you're getting. MBA is really a lifestyle when you get in. Especially in countries like USA or Europe, have this concept of campus placement.
Yeah,
Right? They just invite companies, they visit, students talk to the CEOs and the representatives, and they give them the offers. So that's how an MBA works. So MBA is basically a style of thinking. It makes you a better professional, I would say.
So, as you have said that networking, I mean, networking is very important when you go to a B school and the kind of people you meet over there. So, how this decision is very important for the student to choose a right college. Like they should go into a college where their interests align. So, how does this decision make their life, in a different way?
I think this is one of the biggest decisions right now because MBA and engineering are two professions in India which are booming like anything. You start looking anywhere and there are hundreds and thousands of MBA colleges are coming up, and it is very difficult to know whether this MBA college would be good for you or not. And for an individual, it is very difficult to do the research and get the objective analysis that okay, this college is 9 out of 10 for my profile,
Yeah.
which may not be the case. So I think you guys here have started this company, Admito, right?
Yeah.
And I think companies like this can start this change where people can they can submit their profile and they can start learning more about it.
So I would tell you a brief about Admito also, like how we have started and why this is. So as you have mentioned that it is very difficult to identify a right college. Like students are struggling with a lot of data and lot of research, but people are really they don't go for all this kind of research. They don't talk to alumni. They don't talk to college professionals, or they don't go and research on online and offline. They spend a lot of time online, but they don't go to college website. So all this they consider it as a hassle. So that's where Admito comes in. Admito is trying to solve this problem for students. So all the research part and the kind of hassle people are that Admito is doing, and Admito just require a couple of things like data about their profile and how they have grown further, like college and college graduation, schooling, and everything. This basic data we require, and based on that, we give a list of colleges to the students. So we have an analytical platform behind our algorithm, and everything is working right now. So, and based on that, we don't give a ranking to the college. We don't give a rank of particular colleges. We give a list of colleges which are literally based on your profile and the analytical approach Admito has. So, based on that only, people will be able to understand that this college is a right choice for me. And Admito works with students till the end they get the college, they get the right college. So then later on, once we provide a list to the student, we give them a kind of reading material, couple of articles related to college, and then we help them in filling up forms for exams and colleges and different reminders for the. So that's how people get into age further and then get a right college. So the whole purpose of Admito is helping students to get their right college. So if we before we move on to our further questions, I would have an important announcement to make right now here. That Rahul, we have received a lot of queries from the students, and we have received a great response for this webinar. And everybody wants to ask, very specific queries to you. So right now, what I am doing is, we are opening a Q&A session right now, and in that, people can, our viewers can ask their specific queries to you, and we'll take up all those queries in last 15 minutes of this webinar. So I'll just tell our viewers that how to go and open the Q&A link. So on your video screen on the right top corner, you must be seeing a 9-dot square there, just next to your name. Click on that, and there would be two things: one Q&A and one showcase. So you can click on Q&A, and the right window on the right side of your video window would open. And then bottom of that you have a type your question related to things. So you can just click on ask your question and drop your queries. So we are seeing all your queries right now here, and we will take up all those queries once we are done with the conversation with Rahul, and then later on we will have a Q&A session. In that all the queries will be taken. So and if you're still finding a difficulty in opening Q&A session, you can always go back to an email which Admito had sent you probably today or yesterday. They have sent. So in that instruction of asking questions and how to join webinar, everything is given. So you can just open the Q&A, how to ask question slide, and you can refer that particular slide to ask the questions. So we'll take up all the questions when we start the Q&A session. So let's move on to the next question. As everybody knows that from a dream for people, like going to a B school, which is really prestigious in worldwide. So what kind of thing a student should have, or maybe MBA IIM interviewers seek into a student to get into them, in that particular B school? The kind of things people see. So what is your suggestion to the student that these things you should really prepare for to get into an IIM or a prestigious B school, right?
I can tell you my experience of IIM Bangalore. So how it works is that you clear your CAT examination, and after that you are called for a written aptitude exam and PI. So IIM Bangalore does not have a GD. I think most of the IIMs have done away with the GDs now.
Yeah.
So IIM Bangalore, especially, I'm talking. You have to write a statement of purpose, and I think a lot of colleges are now following this. That they ask you to write an essay on yourself. That what you have done, what has been your life stories, what have been some of the significant events in your life.
Yeah.
So my advice would be to, some people try to exaggerate things a lot, and interviewers can always see through it that you have you just put this story up and it is not really true. So my first advice would be to write something that has really changed your life, and it should be true, and you should be able to justify it, because during an interview, the agenda of an interviewer is not to find out what you do not know. What they want to understand is, do you know the things that you have claimed in your resume that you do know?
Right.
Right. For example, if you are a quant professional and you say you like solving puzzles, then you should actually be able to solve puzzle in case they have to give you. Some people write, I love singing. So viewers, when they ask people to sing in front of them, it is not a very typical interview where they just ask you a question where you see yourself after 5 years or 10 years. It's much more than that.
Yeah.
They try to assess you as a professional, as a person, and they try to know that if whatever you have written, and if they hire you in their school, because for them it is not a matter of just getting a person inside the brand, and they don't want to give their brand to anybody. Right. So they want to give it to a person who has been true in their life, and he has high standard of ethics, and he can uphold it. Right. So in my case, I was always very much into entrepreneurship. So my statement of purpose was about why I want to become an entrepreneur. If I want to become an entrepreneur, why I shouldn't just directly go and start the company? Why do I want to waste my 2 years in an MBA? So I had my answers ready because I knew that I want to be an MBA. It was not that I just happened to.
Yeah, it was a part of your entrepreneurship journey that you wanted to become an MBA grad and then start your.
Yeah. So they started asking me questions that, okay, if we give you this much funding, will you leave IIM Bangalore and start your venture? Then I had to convince him I want to be a part of IIM Bangalore, and how this will help me starting my company later on. So this was one of the good experience during my interview time in Bangalore. A few more things that I will I would like to point out is these interviews they sometimes try to grill you, right, and they will try to make you feel that you're in extreme pressure, and then these are times when you should not give up. Try to smile. Right. If you have given a wrong answer and that that you've given a wrong answer, then accept it.
Yeah.
There is no harm in accepting it. Exactly. Because the interviewer anyway is a much more experienced person. They've been professor for maybe more than that. So treat them as your senior, maybe your uncle, and with the elders you can always accept your mistakes. So this is one of the things that I would advise people to do.
So thank you so much for this kind of advice, and people would definitely learn something out of it. So let's just start with the Q&A session. That we have received a couple of queries here. So Let me just check that what kind of queries we have right now. So yeah, Narendra Kumar has asked us a query like he's a BTech student, and is it better to do an MBA immediately after college, after graduation, and or is it better to go for 2 year work experience and then go for MBA? So how would you take this question, and please help him, in understanding this kind of situation he is in.
So I would this question has a multiple answers. In India, B schools take freshers, right? In other countries, it's the common pattern is that they ask for people to come up after a certain work experience.
Right.
So I would say that India and these countries, they are very different in terms of economics, in terms of their demographics, and a lot of things.
Right.
So why Indian B schools allow freshers to do their MBA is because during the placements in B schools, a lot of companies are actually looking for freshers, right? Let's say you did your BTech in computer science, okay, and you work for 2 years in Infosys or HCL or any of these companies. What happens is that once you do an MBA, a marketing company will find it really hard to take you on board because you have developed that thinking process that you think from an IT point of view. So they often do take the experience of 24 months and then do their MBA. But personally, I would suggest that the right time to do an MBA is now because of the two reasons. One, the Indian economy right now is growing. In 2013, when I graduated, the economy was not very well. It was Congress government was at that time, and the placements somehow weren't really good. But the next year the placements will really improve. For IIM Bangalore, it took us 5 days to get placed the entire batch. The next year it took only 4 days. Right. So right now I think the factors that you need to consider is that the economy is growing really fast. Certain that after 2 years this is the scenario that is going to be there. So if you are in your final year of BTech and already preparing for CAT, I think this would be the right time to do an MBA.
So I think Narendra has got his answer. The next question which Abhishek has asked. Abhishek has asked that he got a chance for admission in IIMC this year. So congratulations first of all. And then he is telling that he is a fresher and the life inside the B school campus different for a fresher. Okay, so he wanted to understand that what kind of life in IIMC in these schools people would have. So I think it is quite similar to other IIMs, right?
It is
so
quite
you
similar.
You have a better idea about like IIM Bangalore, and so we can just.
So IIM Calcutta in particular has this image of being a chill campus, So I would like to congratulate him that he got into this really IIM Calcutta, which is known as the coolest, chillest IIM of all.
And he is worried about that. He's a fresher, so he just wanted to have an answer of like what is the situations different about a work-ex guy and a fresher guy and all that. So he's worried about.
So there is really not much of a difference in terms of your lifestyle at IIM Calcutta, because a lot of people there will be fresher. I think Calcutta has about 30 to 40% batch will be freshers. So lifestyle would be similar. In fact, it is good that you got into IIM Calcutta as a fresher. Now you will not only be able to learn from the professor, but also from your peers who have work experience. They will be able to guide him better because they will not be his boss, but his colleagues. So, who would have been their boss if he had chosen to go for a company? They would be his seniors. Now he can just walk, sit with them, drink tea with them, and then talk how companies function. What you guys were doing for 3 years in a particular company? How was your day-to-day life was like? So as a fresher, IIMs always I think offer a window from where you can see the corporate world quicker and faster. And other thing about IIM Calcutta is that it is known as a hub of IIM. And finance companies have this preference that they tend to prefer either freshers or somebody who's already worked with finance companies earlier. So being a fresher, I think, would be an advantage in IIM Calcutta.
So Abhishek must be very happy by hearing that the freshers are getting advantage over there.
Correct.
So I think he has got his answer. And we have the next question from Rohan. Rohan is asking about that is executive MBA a better option for than full-time MBA? He is trying to compare like executive MBA whether he should go for a executive MBA or full-time MBA for 2 year experience TCS profession. So he is working in TCS right now. Whether he should go for executive MBA or
Right.
full-time MBA.
So executive MBA is only for the professional who have a certain years of work experience. I think they require a minimum of 4 years of work experience at ISB, which is known for their executive MBA program, and I am Bangalore also. So it depends. There are two kind of people. One who want to do a full-time flagship program, and there are others whose company that typically sponsor these people who go for the executive MBA.
Right.
So I would suggest that he can check his company policy that if they can they allow employees to take a sabbatical to complete their MBA. If this is the case with their company, then they can take care of the fees. I think MBA executive MBA could be a good option for him. But if that is not the case, 2 years MBA is always the best bet. Less. And the second, I believe learning in a 2 year full-time program is much more as compared to a program which is just limited to 1 year.
Yeah, so I think going for full-time
Yeah.
would be
Personally, I would say going for full-time would be a better option in terms of learning because it is very difficult to take the complete advantage of an MBA program in 1 year.
and the next question we have is from Shivam Agrawal. So he's asking that like situations about MBA in USA. So like whether you should go for you should appear for GMAT and go for abroad, or you should go for in India probably you go and give CAT and
Right.
so this kind of questions. Yeah, people have keep on asking
Right.
this question like the MBA or GMAT. Sorry, CAT and GMAT. So it's a very common question.
Right.
So what is your take on this?
I would say that this really depends on your personal aspiration first of all.
Right.
MBA from US or outside universities is really about the case when you see yourself as a global executive. When you feel that you want to have a more global profile, you want to have a more broader profile.
Right.
But it also comes with their own disadvantage. One is that the fees in US universities outside is pretty high. So you need to do much more research before going for this US option.
Mhm.
And Indian universities are obviously they are now becoming as good as their Western counterparts, especially the top IIMs are now
Right.
they are almost at equal standing. The second reason is that it's just the Indian B schools who allow freshers to take come and do an MBA, and they still give most weightage to CAT, whereas universities outside India they look at your extracurricular activities, they look at a whole gamut of things,
Right.
and it is very difficult for an Indian student to create that kind of profile. So I would say if he has a profile and he feels that it is already a good fit, is getting a good university, only then it would make sense. But he will have to do his basic options checking and then.
Yeah. So another question we have from Anshul. So he wanted to ask that what are the some helpful things to do to build up your good profile for a B school for a graduate student. So he's an undergraduate graduate student right now, and he wanted to build up things he should do.
They should focus on his academics because now IIMs are increasingly focusing on their undergraduate academics. So that's one. That you should be decent. I'm not saying that you should be a topper or something, but you should maintain a decent score in your undergraduate.
Yeah.
Second thing is you should take part in your extracurricular activities because what happens is that if he's an undergraduate engineering student,
Right.
there'll be a lot of engineering students.
Yeah.
So he should have some point of differentiation in his resume that okay, this is what I have done, and this makes me stand apart from my colleagues. So for some people, this could be being part of clubs that are there in undergraduate college. So there are different societies that are there. maybe they can start some kind of NGO or something where they can start helping underprivileged people. So start doing something which is not part of the syllabus, but still you're it should come out that you are a person who's driven by passion and not just academics, but he has other interests also. So you should present yourself as a holistic personality.
Right.
Right. So this is one of the advice that I'll give you, that maintain a decent score and try to build a holistic resume.
So yeah, I hope that Anshul has got his answer right now. And another question we have from Priti. She's a biotech engineer, and she has 3 years of experience in research and development. And she wanted to ask that will this experience be taken into consideration if she has also heard about IT experience is most preferred in these schools or placements. So she's confused between that she is a biotech engineer and she has heard that many companies and these schools take IT students. So she is quite confused about this kind of situation. So what should she? Would you clarify that?
I think I can connect with her better because I have a very close friend who is a biotech engineer and he is an MBA from IIM Calcutta. So one thing that I would like to make it very clear that IT companies, IT experience is not a preferred experience at these schools. IT companies prefer IT experience,
Okay.
right? Similarly, like finance companies prefer finance experience if it is there. Otherwise, it does not really. It is not the case that IT experience is the most sought out experience. Second is there are a lot of companies who come and they are specifically looking for biotech engineers. I think a company Baxter came from for IIM Calcutta placement and they hired biotech engineers. There was a company called ExxonMobil which came and which hired biotech engineers, and they were really happy to see that these top IIMs have such diversity that even biotech engineers are part of the batch.
Yeah.
So they got actually the unfair advantage because companies found the right fit what they were looking for. Now IIMs have different job offers that are coming. So it is not that only IT companies are coming. Companies from different segments are coming up. Companies from power sectors come. Companies from renewable energy come. Companies for marketing are coming. E-commerce companies are coming, and e-commerce are also in different domains. Some are in health commerce. Some are like you in education industry. Some are in hotel industry. So as I said earlier, MBA, do not think of an MBA as as a place where you get a better placement. Think of an MBA as a place where you can build your profile, build your credibility, and then you can personally reach out to your dream companies. And once you are an MBA, they will start listening to you.
Yeah. So basically, building profile is key to success.
Building profile is the key to success. I think the goal of a student while he's doing his MBA should be to build network and be connected with people.
So we have last question right now here because we have a very limited time. So we'll take this question. It's the last question. So it's from Dipinder, and Dipinder wanted to ask is there some inherent disadvantage doing MBA as a fresher? And are freshers at par with experienced candidates, or are they a bit disadvantaged on the bit disadvantage on side? Like I am a fresher BTech CSE student. He's a computer science graduate and have a job offer and MBA admits from IIT Kanpur. So he got into IIT Kanpur. He might be joining the one. So he is in a very critical situation right now. That's what he thinks. So what is your take on this? That what would you suggest? Like he is a fresher and then he thinks that freshers are. It's the same question previously been asked, but different perspective. Like he got into IIT Kanpur also.
Right.
So what would you suggest to him?
I would say that I was also a fresher, so I didn't feel any disadvantage there. In fact, most of the time I felt that freshers were actually at advantage, especially in marketing companies. And companies which were looking for consulting profile. So it is not that freshers are at a disadvantage or work experience guys are at a disadvantage. I was a fresher and I never felt that there was any kind of disadvantage for me. I'm an electrical engineer. I got summer internship in a pharmaceutical company, final placement in an oil and gas company, and my last company was in commerce. So
you have explored the whole world.
correct. So I mean, being a fresher is, I think, because Indian B schools are admitting freshers. So if there was any kind of disadvantage, they would stop this practice.
Yeah,
Correct. So we should first, understand this fact that if they are expecting pressure, which means that companies are demanding from the college that you admit pressure,
Yeah.
which is why they are still, accepting pressure. If companies start telling the campuses that we are not looking for freshers, why would they waste their seats?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So if campuses are hiring pressure, which means companies require freshers. Like,
Yeah, I believe that being a fresher is the biggest advantage for him because the company finds people who are fresh minded and they can work very well and very well with the company's culture. So I think being a fresher, nobody should,
right. So companies look for all kind of profiles. So if, let's say if a company is coming to your campus, they will sometimes come with two profiles. One is an entry level profile.
Yeah.
One is a senior profile with 4 years of work experience. So they will take somebody who has done his work in a similar profile. They will take him. They will take the fresher also because they also have to build their talent pool. They have to also create their talent profile in their company. So I don't think there should be any disadvantage.
So this was our last question. I'm very sorry that we have time limitations, so we couldn't take up more questions. But thank you so much, Rahul, for joining us for this webinar, and to our awesome audience, awesome viewers. Thank you so much, guys, to join us for this webinar and take out time and asking so many questions. Every question was very interesting, and I think Rahul has also given quite answers which are really important for you. So I definitely you guys will receive a transcript of this webinar soon. You will receive an email from Admito and you will receive the transcript. So and do not forget us to like on Facebook and post your feedback about how this webinar go, and what kind of questions you have asked and kind of answers you got from webinar, and any kind of feedback you wanted to give to Admito related to webinar or something new we should come up with. So your feedbacks are always appreciated and always welcome to have feedbacks from you, and you should put your feedbacks on our Facebook page so we can probably learn something out of your feedback. So stay tuned with us. We have so many webinars coming up in next couple of days, and you can definitely click on the links on the which we are running right now. If you go right top corner, you will have 9 dot square again where you have opened the Q&A session. So there is one more option, showcase. So if you click on showcase, you will find link of Facebook page of Admito and website of Admito. So you can definitely click on that, have a look on our website, have a look on our Facebook page. Keep posting, keep suggesting us what should we do next. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining this webinar once again. And try and prepare exams. Thank you so much, guys.